Did you know that the Cadillac Type 53 was the first car to use the same control layout as modern automobiles? Now that's something to ponder. This trailblazing vehicle, the Cadillac Type 53, rolled right out of the factory in 1916, setting a new standard for all cars to follow. You see, before the Type 53, the arrangement of car controls was a bit of a hodgepodge. There was no standardization, and each manufacturer seemed to have their own idea of where things should go. But the Cadillac Type 53 changed all of that. In this car, the throttle, clutch and gear shift were all conveniently located, right there next to the driver. Imagine sitting behind the wheel, with all the controls you need, right at your fingertips. No need to reach across the car or fumble around trying to find the right lever or knob. It was a design that was both intuitive and efficient. And let's not forget about the brake pedal, conveniently placed for the driver's foot. A simple push and voila, the car slows down. It's a far cry from the hand-operated brakes that were common in cars before the Type 53. This was a groundbreaking design. It revolutionized the way people drove cars and set a new standard for all automobiles to follow. It was a design so good, so intuitive, that we still use it today, over 100 years later. The Cadillac Type 53 was truly a pioneer. It dared to break away from the norm, dared to be different, and in doing so, it changed the automobile industry forever. But it wasn't just the layout of the controls that made the Type 53 special. This car was a masterpiece of engineering and design. From the sleek lines of its body to the powerful roar of its engine, everything about the Type 53 screamed innovation and luxury. And so, it was this innovative design and forward-thinking approach that set the stage for the Cadillac Type 53 to make a significant impact in the automobile industry. It was a car that was ahead of its time, a car that dared to be different, and that's what made it so special. The journey of the Cadillac Type 53 began in the year 1915, a time when the automobile industry was still in its infancy. As we delve into the inception of the Cadillac Type 53, we find ourselves in the early 20th century, an era of change, innovation, and the dawn of mechanized mobility. The automobile industry had just begun to find its footing, and amidst this whirlwind of progress, the Cadillac Type 53 emerged. The Type 53 was the brainchild of none other than Cadillac's founder, Henry M. Leland. Leland, a master mechanic and entrepreneur, was a man of vision and precision. His dream was to create a car that was not only luxurious and stylish, but also technologically advanced and easy to drive. He wanted his creation to be a beacon of innovation, setting the standard for all automobiles to follow. The context of the automobile industry during this time was one of rapid growth and fierce competition. Manufacturers were scrambling to outdo each other, pushing the boundaries of what was possible in automotive design and engineering. In this high-stakes environment, Leland saw an opportunity, a chance to make a lasting impact. Leland's vision for the Cadillac Type 53 was revolutionary. He dared to challenge the status quo, introducing features that were unheard of at the time. The Type 53 was the first car to use a fully enclosed cab, protecting drivers from the elements. It also introduced the modern layout of the control pedals, with the accelerator, brake and clutch arranged from right to left, a design that is still used in cars today. But Leland's ambitions didn't stop there. He wanted the Cadillac Type 53 to be more than just a vehicle. He wanted it to be a symbol of American ingenuity, a testament to the power of innovation and the spirit of progress. The Cadillac Type 53 was born out of a vision to revolutionize the automobile industry, and it did just that. As we continue our journey through the history of this iconic car, we'll see how the Cadillac Type 53 not only met, but far exceeded Leland's lofty expectations, forever changing the landscape of the automobile industry. The Cadillac Type 53 didn't just introduce a new control layout, it changed the way we drive cars forever. Imagine stepping into a time machine and going back to the early 20th century. You find yourself in front of a car from that era. As you step into the driver's seat, you realize that the control layout is entirely different. There's no steering wheel in the familiar place, pedals are not where you expect them to be, and the gear shift, it might as well be a puzzle. This was the reality before the Cadillac Type 53 came along. The Cadillac Type 53 was a beacon of clarity in this chaotic landscape. It was the first car to use the control layout that we all know and love today. A steering wheel on the left, the accelerator, brake, and clutch pedals in their familiar order, and the gear lever in the middle. This configuration was not just a random choice by Cadillac designers. It was a thoughtful arrangement based on the natural hand-eye coordination and body mechanics of the driver. and the industry noticed. The sheer intuitiveness of the Type 53's layout caught the eye of manufacturers and drivers alike. Before you knew it, the layout became the de facto standard for all cars. It was as if the Cadillac Type 53 had taught the world a new language, a language that made driving simpler, safer, and more enjoyable. But the impact of the Type 53 didn't stop there. Its influence seeped into the design philosophy of future cars. It taught us the importance of user-centric design, that the design of a car should always revolve around the comfort and convenience of the driver. This lesson has been carried forward by all cars designed since, and the spirit of the Type 53 lives on in every modern car we see on the road today. In essence, the Cadillac Type 53 didn't just revolutionize car design, it redefined our relationship with cars. It transformed driving from a complex mechanical task into a simple, intuitive experience. The Cadillac Type 53, a game-changer, forever marked its presence in the automobile history. Like all good things, the production of the Cadillac Type 53 eventually came to an end. The year was 1918, and the world was changing rapidly. The automobile industry was no exception, as innovation and evolution were the order of the day. The Cadillac Type 53, despite its groundbreaking features and design, was not immune to this wave of change. It was a product of its time, a grand testament to the ingenuity and vision of Cadillac's engineers. But the very factors that made it stand out also contributed to its eventual discontinuation. One of the main factors that led to the end of its production was the onset of World War I. The war resulted in material shortages and a shift in focus towards manufacturing war vehicles. This greatly impacted the production of civilian cars like the Cadillac Type 53. Another factor was the rapid advancement in automobile technology. The Type 53, as innovative as it was, began to be overshadowed by newer models with more advanced features. The competition was fierce, and the Type 53, despite its brilliance, was unable to keep up. But the end of production didn't mean the end of the Cadillac Type 53's story. Quite the contrary, its legacy lived on, and it continued to influence the automobile industry in profound ways. The Type 53 was the first car to use a modern control layout, with the gear lever and handbrake in the middle of the front two seats, and the accelerator, brake, and clutch pedals in the order we are familiar with today. This layout became the standard for virtually all cars that followed, cementing the Type 53's place in history. Furthermore, its V8 engine, another first for the industry, set a precedent for power and performance. It paved the way for the development of more powerful and efficient engines, contributing significantly to the evolution of the automobile. Even though its production ended, the Cadillac Type 53's influence in the automobile industry continued. Its innovative design, its pioneering features, and its undeniable charm made it a classic, a true icon that will forever be remembered as a game-changer in the world of automobiles. The Cadillac Type 53 may not be in production today, but its legacy lives on. You see, the Type 53 was more than just a car. It was a blueprint, a prototype for the future. It was the first car to introduce the modern layout of controls and devices that are still used in cars today. Imagine a world where you had to crank your car to start it or had to reach around awkwardly to change gears. That's how it was before the Cadillac Type 53 came along. It was this vehicle that first brought us the convenience of an electric starter and the intuitive placement of the accelerator, brake, and clutch pedals. The Cadillac Type 53 made driving more straightforward, more intuitive, and safer. But the influence of the Type 53 didn't stop there. It extended far beyond the driver's seat and into the very heart of the automobile industry. The success of the Type 53 proved to car manufacturers that innovation was not only desirable but necessary for survival. It forced them to look beyond the status quo and to continuously challenge, question, and innovate. Today, every time you slide into the driver's seat, every time you turn the ignition, every time you effortlessly shift gears or apply the brakes, you're experiencing a legacy that's over 100 years old. You're experiencing the influence of the Cadillac Type 53. And while the physical manifestation of the Type 53 may have faded, its spirit lives on. It lives on in the innovative electric vehicles that are transforming our roads, in the autonomous cars that are redefining our understanding of mobility, and in the unquenchable thirst for innovation that drives the automobile industry forward. So the next time you get into a car, remember the Cadillac Type 53. Remember the car that dared to be different, the car that wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo, the car that changed everything. The Cadillac Type 53, a pioneer of its time, has left an indelible mark on the automobile industry, proving that innovation stands the test of time.